This is Jim Richter with the Mandolin Blues Lick of the Day. It is December 9th, 2023, and this is lesson number 74. Glad to be back. Was on vacation for a couple weeks. Visited the great state of New Mexico, where I hope to live one day. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous state. Took my mandolin, was trying to write some tunes, but for the most part tried to disconnect and de-link from the internet. The lesson for today is going to be short. We're going to talk about 7th chords. We have been studying Johnny Young and intend to study Johnny for a little bit longer. We looked at his tune, which was in the key of D, called "I Can't Keep My Foot From Jumping." But let's talk about 7th in a common shape that he used throughout that tune. You heard it a lot on the 1 chord. So a 7th chord, like used in the blues, has a root, so in this case a D, has a third, which is an F sharp, has a fifth, which is an A, and has a flatted 7th, which in this case is a C. So when I talk about 1, 3, 5, flat 7, you can think about the major scale. D is your 1, 2 is your E, 3 is your F sharp, 4 is your G, 5 is your A, 6 is your B, your major 7th, your 7th is the C sharp, and D. So to form a major triad, you're going to take the 1, 3, and 5, D, F sharp, A, and that gives you your major triad. All the different permutations and versions of it. For the 7th chord, for dominant 7th, you're going to have a flat 7. Because if you had a major 7th chord, it's going to sound like this. It's that kind of sound. But we're talking blues, which is going to sound like this. So you're going to have this flat 7, which is a C. So we'll talk about 7th chord shapes for a few days and how they fit into the different tunes. But the shape that they're primarily using, so we're going to do the one for the key of D, for the D chord. You're going to do a double stop, which is 3rd fret of the A string, which is a C. You're going to do 5th fret of the A or the E string, which is an A. And you could play that by itself, or you could play that against the open D string. And this is what you hear and a lot of times this is played with an upstroke. Yank would definitely play it with an upstroke, so you would have. So you heard that some with Johnny Young, and this is not verbatim, but you might have something that sounds like. In a slow blues, you might hear. But it's a transferable shape. If I move it down 1 string and have the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 3rd fret of the D string, and 5th fret of the A string, which is F and D, you would have. You'd be playing in the key of G. So, and Yank played a lot in the key of G, so. But you can move that shape anywhere. If I moved it down here, I could play a C. That's my B flat, G. If I moved it up, I've got F, D. This is the 8th fret, 10th fret. That's a G shape. But I can move it anywhere. So that's the lesson for today. It's really thinking a lot about that double stop shape and how to use it as a seventh chord substitution. And meet you again tomorrow for another lesson. My Patreon site is patreon.com, Jim Richter, and you can find the Johnny Young lesson there, the fully transcribed tune. I'm also going to be putting up a pentatonic kind of exploration in the key of D, looking at pentatonics, how they relate to seventh chords, how they relate to double stops. That will be a complement to these lessons. But thank you so much, and see you tomorrow.